Hello and welcome back to Random History. It's codename Hannibal here again, ready to continue the fascinating, yet in the West, little-known story of the Genpei War. So first up, I would like to correct a mistake that I made in the last episode. When the Taira were fleeing Kyoto, I said that they brought 8-year-old Emperor Antoku with them. Emperor Antoku was actually 6 at this time. Now, back to the story. When we left off in the last episode, Yoshitsune had just led a cavalry charge over the edge of an almost sheer cliff. Now, just think about that for a second. The Hyodorigo cliffs are not quite as sheer today, but in Yoshitsune's time, to ride down them on horseback and survive, you would have to be luckier than Caesar. To charge down a practically sheer cliff on horseback, you would need to be out of your mind. Fortunately for the Minamoto, Yoshitsune often seemed to be out of his mind. Somehow, Yoshitsune and his small band of riders managed to get to the bottom of the Hyodorigo cliffs. Somehow, they managed to dodge the Taira traps lying in wait. They land on the rooftops of the barracks of Ichi-no-Tani. They pull torches out of their saddlebags, light them, and ride through the fortress, burning everything in their path. It's then that the battle becomes similar to the Battle of Marathon. The panicked Taira race for the ships that they have anchored in the harbor, but so many of them are trying to get onto the ships so quickly that 3 of the ships are overweighted and sink. The Taira quickly decide that only men of quality will be able to board their ships. Lower-ranking samurai who try to hang on have their hands cut off. They fall back into the water. Minamoto cavalry ride through the water, hunting down fleeing Taira samurai. One Minamoto warrior sees a high-ranking Taira samurai riding through the water away from him. He demands that the Taira warrior turn and fight. The Taira samurai does turn and fight, but is quickly dragged from his horse. As he is about to kill the Taira warrior, he notices that his enemy is no older than his own son. He tries to spare the boy, but notices that Kagetoki and a large amount of other Minamoto samurai are nearby. They will never let the boy escape. Reciting a prayer to help the boy get to heaven, and weeping, he kills him. The boy's name was Atsumori. He was Taira Kiyomori's nephew. Meanwhile, a chaotic melee forms on the beach. Minamoto mounted archers run circles around Taira samurai, firing arrows. In this period of time, samurai did not use katanas, but an earlier version of the katana called a tachi. Samurai on foot might have used naginata, basically a spear with a sword on the end. A weapon samurai on foot would have used against cavalry was a kumeri, basically a giant rake used to pull riders off their horses. Before long, the fortress was taken. One of the biggest gambles in military history had just been pulled off successfully. Yoshitsune was a hero. However, Yoritomo seemed to ignore this. He sent Yoshitsune's less competent brother Noriyori to drive the Taira out of the rest of Japan. Noriyori was unable to supply his army well enough, and they were forced to steal from peasants they encountered. Even so, he could not keep his troops fed. At last, Yoritomo called him back and sent out Yoshitsune. Yoshitsune planned to attack the island of Yashima, which was occupied by the Taira. Yoshitsune said that he would not return to Kyoto before destroying the Taira, even if it meant chasing them as far as Korea, India, or China. Yoshitsune asked his men for advice about how to get from Shikoku to Yashima. Kagetoki suggested that they install reverse oars on the ship, oars that are installed backwards to make it easier for a ship to move backwards and to retreat. Yoshitsune replied that he didn't plan on retreating. Kagetaki replied that a good commander knows when to advance and when to retreat. A rigid commander is called a wild boar warrior, and people do not think very much of him. Yoshitsune said he didn't know anything about boars, but what he liked to do in battle was charge and win. And so, without reverse oars installed, Yoshitsune and a small band of about 150 samurai sail into the storm. Again, to sail to Shikoku and then cross the river to Yashima at this time of year was also a suicide wish, which no one in their right mind would do. Fortunately for the Minamoto, again, Yoshitsune often did not seem to be in his right mind. Yoshitsune's ships were really just primitive canoes with a platform added to accommodate horses and other cargo. They were powered by oars and thin, fragile sails. No one in their right mind would sail them into a storm. Once again, fortunately for the Minamoto, Yoshitsune often did not seem to be in his right mind. Waiting for Yoshitsune along the coast of Shikoku was a small group of Terra archers. Yoshitsune knew that as he unloaded his men and horses, they could fire upon his ships, wreaking huge havoc to his already tiny army. So Yoshitsune unloaded his horses first. They swam toward the shore, but the archers were focused on his men. His soldiers, using their many armor plates as shields, charged out of the boats and onto the shore. The archers quickly fled. Yoshitsune told his friend Issei Saburo to capture the Terra leader. Issei Saburo quickly captured him, and Yoshitsune quickly found that the leader was willing to tell Yoshitsune information. The Terra leader told Yoshitsune that the place where he had landed was called Katsuura, or Victory Beach. How's that for a good omen? Before crossing to Yashima, Yoshitsune had his men light large fires. The Terra thought that those were the campfires of a huge army approaching. Yoshitsune then had his men approach Yashima in a narrow column, so that it looked like a much larger army was approaching very slowly. The Terra, still guarding Emperor Antoku, who by this point was 8 or at least 7, fled. Tadanobu and Zuginobu barged into the Terra compound, setting it on fire. From the deck of his ship, one of the Terra commanders shouted out to the Minamoto, asking who the commander of the Minamoto army was. Issei Saburo replied that it was Yoshitsune, younger brother of Yoritomo. Remember way back in episode 1 when I told you to remember some Terra commander named Noritsune? Well, I hope you did, because he is about to become a major character. When the Terra warrior was shot, Noritsune realized that the Minamoto weren't quite out of arrow range, and Yoshitsune was easy to spot among the Minamoto cavalry. So, Noritsune pulled out his bow, aimed, and fired. Yoshitsune's friends, seeing Noritsune firing the arrow, they rushed to get themselves between Noritsune and Yoshitsune. The one who does get between them is Zuginobu. The shot hits him in the left shoulder and goes all the way through. He stumbles backwards, bleeding heavily. Zuginobu died at the Battle of Yashima. In return for blessing Zuginobu's spirit, Yoshitsune gave a nearby monk his horse and his saddle, likely the only valuable things he owned. The Terra, attempting to taunt the Minamoto and perhaps lure them into arrow range, hoisted a red banner onto one of their ships. A woman came out onto the deck and beckoned to the Minamoto, as if asking if any of their archers could hit the banner. Yoshitsune ordered the best archer among the Minamoto to hit the banner. At first he protested, saying that surely there were better archers among the group. But Yoshitsune was angry. He demanded that any samurai who had sailed to Shikoku with him would have to listen to him. And so, the young man rode out into the water. He pulled out an arrow, nocked it to his bow, and aimed. The breeze seemed to subside. He fired. It struck the banner. One of the Terra went out onto the deck of the ship and started doing a dance with a naginata. Issei Saburo ordered the young Minamoto archer to shoot him as well. The archer did. Enraged by this, the Heike charged the beaches. They formed a shield wall against the edge of the water, but the Minamoto cavalry charged and easily broke through their lines. The Heike retreated. At one point during the fighting, a Terra warrior with a kumite grabbed Yoshitsune's bow and pulled it from his hand. As the Minamoto pulled back to the beaches, Yoshitsune stayed in the water trying to find his bow. The Minamoto called for him to come back, but he continued riding through the water, trying to take it back. At last, Yoshitsune got his bow and returned to the shore. The other Minamoto on the shore asked why he had risked his life for a bow. He replied that he had only stayed in the water searching for his bow because it was such a weak weapon. He did not want the Terra to find it and scoff that Yoshitsune had used a bow so weak. For days the battle would continue like this, with the Heike unable to drive the Minamoto from the island, but the Minamoto unable to hit the Heike ships. At last the Heike retreated. Yoshitsune had won the Battle of Yashima. When Kagetaki arrived later, the Minamoto laughed and said that he was as useless as altar flowers picked too late for the ceremony. The Terra only have one base left, the Straits of Dan no Ura in southern Japan. The Minamoto may have been able to defeat them on land, but had no experience sailing. One Terra samurai said,
"Those Eastern warriors may talk big on horseback, but when did they learn to sail? They will be like fish that have tried to climb trees."
Dan no Ura is a narrow strait between the islands of Honshu and Kyushu. Early in the day, the tide flows east toward the inland sea. The Terra ships were coming from the east, and they planned to take full advantage of the tide. For once, the Minamoto outnumbered the Terra, but Yoshitsune's numerically superior ships were still much smaller and weaker than the Terra vessels. The majority of the Terra ships were small and weak like the boats of the Minamoto, but several of the Terra ships were Chinese, much bigger and stronger. And so, the Battle of Dan no Ura begins. In the first row of Terra ships, there are 500 elite archers. They rain volley after volley onto the Minamoto, causing huge damage. Yoshitsune's archers, one of them using a 9-foot bow, return fire. Ships crashed together, and the sea ran red with blood. The current pushes the Minamoto ships back. It seems that the outnumbered Terra are about to win. But then, several things happen. A Terra soothsayer predicts that they are going to lose. Several Terra samurai desert, giving Yoshitsune critical information about where Emperor Antoku is actually hidden. And the tides begin to change. As the Terra begin to lose, Noritsune runs from ship to ship, hunting for Yoshitsune. Noritsune's brothers were killed at Ichinotani. Noritsune failed to shoot Yoshitsune at Yashima, and Noritsune was unable to take the beaches back also at Yashima. He hates Yoshitsune more than any Terra at Dan no Ura. So at last, he spots Yoshitsune on one of his ships. He runs toward that ship, a tachi in one hand, a halberd in the other, and he jumps on board. Join us next time for the conclusion of the Battle of Dan no Ura, a rift forming between Yoshitsune and Yoritomo, and the hunter becoming the hunted. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and Random History will be back hopefully next week.